Hey guys, sorry this is 2 days late. This is my week 8 video for the Young Pagan Circle, and it was my week to pick, and I picked how the public views your craft or your path, or however you want to put it. And I would have done this, I promise. I've been so late lately, it's just ridiculous. But I somehow misplaced the battery for my camera, and I literally just found it today in the bottom of a clothes pile. I do not know how I got there, but it's back, so we're good. So yeah, we'll just get into this. How about that? Okay, question number 1. What misconceptions do people have about your path? I think the biggest one is being that we worship Satan. The second one, I think, would be probably what you would see in certain movies like Harry Potter. People just think that either that's how it works, or that's how we think it works, even though we know better. So those are some misconceptions. Trying to think of some more. Probably that we're like all, just out in the open, just dancing naked under the moonlight, just, having craziness and whatnot. The pinnacle is a big misconception. Everyone thinks it's either, a symbol that worships Satan, or, yeah, I think people will just usually look at it and think that it's the satanic symbol. I've actually heard someone go, "Oh, that's a really cute star." And I'm like, "Thank you." Thanks, leave it at that. So those are some misconceptions that people have. Not necessarily to me, because I don't really encounter it a whole lot. Because I don't just go around just telling everyone, "Hey, guess what? I'm a witch. Hey, did you know I'm a witch? Hey, I'm a witch. I'm a witch." No, I don't do that. But those that know what I practice and, my spiritual path, they don't really have any misconceptions, because they give me a chance to explain it first. And yeah, anyway, I'm answering question 2 already. Have you received a negative reaction from the public about your craft? If I was one of these that just went up to every random stranger and went, "Hey, I'm a witch. Hey, did you know I'm a witch? Hey, guess what? I'm a witch." Then yeah, I'd probably get some negative reactions. But being that I don't do that, I haven't got any really negative reactions. I think I got more negative reactions when I was not on a particular path. On my personal channel, I explained how I have an ex-boyfriend who, when I started dating him, he was a Jewish guy. When I started dating him, I was maybe 22. Yeah, that sounds about right. I was probably 22. And from the time I was 20, I had a certain belief system. I stopped believing in heaven and hell altogether. I was questioning the reality of a God. I didn't believe in the devil. And he knew all these things, and he was kind of okay with it. But when we broke up, not long after, he joined a church that was basically like a cult. And he started like harassing me, like calling me constantly, just letting you know I'm praying for you because you're going to hell because you don't believe in God, you're not saved, you're not this, you're not that, da 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 da. And my last ex-boyfriend used to want to get me to go to church with him all the time. He was Mormon. Sorry, I'm not being mean. He's actually a really great guy, and I loved his family to death. They were, all Mormon. They were just, some wonderful people. But he was always like pressuring me to go to church because, again, I had the same belief system, because when we were dating, I was still not on this path. So I definitely got more negative reaction before I came to a path and before I started, practicing the craft, really practicing it. So, I'm not really, got a whole lot of negative. Let's see. Did or do any of your friends or family have misconceptions about your path? I would say they definitely do, but not the ones that know. My grandparents are big-time Southern Baptist Christians, and they, you know, definitely would have some misconceptions about my craft. I remember my grandma asked me like a while back. She asked, she's like, "Do you know what alchemy is?" And I was like, kind of. And I was kind of trying to explain to her, and she was like, "Ooh, it sounds like witchcraft." And I was like, "Fuck." And it's like, well, I'm about to either get a lecture or she's about to start going off on a tangent about witchcraft, but she didn't. But, you know, I am aware that they do have misconceptions about it because I used to, you know, have the same religious beliefs when I was, you know, much younger. And I know how they think already. So I know they have misconceptions. I know that it's not changed. You know, they're kind of, I guess, that old and set in their ways kind of thing. So, you know, I definitely know that they do, and I think that I'm not totally out to my best friend about, you know, my whole like witchcraft stuff yet. Just because when I even told her that I was, you know, had kind of found the pagan path, she kind of looked at me and she was like, "Are you into some weird kind of shit?" So I feel like she probably has some misconceptions about it, and I'm sure at some point it'll come up, and hopefully she'll give me the chance to like really explain it to her before she starts, you know, jumping off the deep end and going on at me. Let's see. But other than that, I've not really had any friends or family that have any, you know, negative misconceptions about it. So yeah. Question 4. How does it affect you? Or wait, I wrote this question all backwards. How does it affect you when these misconceptions drive people to be against your path? That's it. I think more than anything, you know, like I said, I've not really experienced anyone being, you know, negative to me or having like misconceptions directly at me, but it does bother me when I hear people that, you know, don't know my path that would just, you know, randomly start talking about, you know, witchcraft or, you know, maybe paganism or something that they don't understand at all. You know, it kind of frustrates me just because, you know, I got curious about different religions at the age of 13, and it's like, here you are, a grown person, and you've obviously never taken a second to study another religion and, you know, get to know another side of, you know, the world, because the whole world is not Christian and the whole world is not the same, and it doesn't make sense to me why people don't want to know more and to kind of educate themselves and not be just ignorant about things, because you're going to encounter people who are of different religions, and if that's the first thing that you hear about somebody, you know, is that going to make you not want to get to know that person? They could be the best person in the whole wide world, but you're not going to know it because, you know, you're ignorant to their religion, and that's going to be that your first jumping off point, and oop, don't like this person, they're Muslim, or they're pagan, they're Wiccan, they're, you know, whatever, because you don't understand. And, you know, it really frustrates me, and I wish people would take out some time to, you know, at least study enough of a religion to kind of, you know, understand where people are coming from. Because for the most part, I think people are on certain paths because that's how they're brought up. And, you know, people can't help that. Like, I couldn't help I was born into a Christian family, and that's how I was brought up. You know, you can't if you're born into like a Catholic family or, you know, whatever. You can, you know, change it later, obviously, but, you know, for the most part, like, if you encounter someone that was born into a certain, you know, path, you know, that's probably, you know, been their family's religion for, you know, many, many generations, and you're going to judge that person because that's how they were brought and raised. I mean, come on. Be respectful, grow up, and, you know, try to get to know someone for who they are and not what you think is wrong with their religious beliefs. Okay, talk about one of the biggest misconceptions people have. It's hard to talk about just one because there are so many. I think that one of the biggest misconceptions is the pinnacle, and a lot of Christians look at it and, you know, this is a satanic symbol. And I got my tattoo, which is I don't know if you can see it, it's sideways, but it's a heartogram. And, you know, if you know anything about the band Him or know about the symbol, it's just a band symbol that they created to be like a new agey type, like yin yang type thing with the heart and the upside down pentagram. And you know, I look at this and it reminds me that there's good and bad in everything. I got this when I was going through a very, very like difficult time in my life, and I see it and it reminds me of that time, and it reminds me that, you know, I made it out that dark time, that there is light at the end of this tunnel. But when they see, you know, just the regular, you know, right-sided up star, little pinnacle, they freak out and they think it's a satanic symbol. They think that, yeah, I don't know if I said this or not, but my mom, like, when she saw my tattoo, she was like, that looks satanic. I'm like, what? There's a heart in it. How does that look satanic? Anyway, you know, they immediately jump and they start saying, oh, that's a satanic symbol. Christians, are you aware this was the first symbol of Christianity? The Star of Venus, because that's the little pattern in the sky that Venus makes during her transit. Yeah, it's not satanic at all. That was the very first symbol for Christianity before the cross took over. And then, of course, you know, we worship the devil. You know, we don't believe in the devil. And of course, the devil's too clever. He's tricking all of us. Don't you feel tricked? I feel so tricked. Yeah, those are just, you know, two misconceptions, and they're annoying. And back to the pinnacle, I think I saw Ivy Wind mention that, you know, mention the pinnacle as well, and she said that, you know, it's been around, you know, way, you know, many thousands of years. So, you know, it's not something that, you know, has just been created to worship the devil. I mean, it was around before the devil was even invented, you know, by the Christians and Catholics and those people who wished to control things. Let's see, where was I at? Okay, I'm going to try and wrap this up, but advice to young pagans on dealing with negativity towards their craft, or their path, I guess. One of the best ways to deal with negativity is, number one, know what you're talking about before you start talking to somebody about it. Because you don't want to get into an argument with someone and you only know a few things and you can't, you know, talk about your, you know, your path or your religion. How much time do I have? Okay, we're good. You want to be able to, you know, talk about it, you know, maturely and, you know, articulately, I guess. And that is with someone that is willing to actually have a discussion with you. If someone is just going to come at you, you know, with just hate and just, you know, vileness, the best thing you can do is sometimes just, you know, say, you know, well, just not really say anything, just kind of, you know, put as much space between you and that person as you possibly can. And I will link this video to this one. Rachel Stormborn did a video response to me last week on my my last week video, and she picked one part of my discussion on the broom closet, and she kind of elaborated on, you know, her experience with this, and it's a really great video, and I'm really thankful that you did this, Rachel. But, you know, she has some really good advice at the end on how to deal with those people that want to come at you. So, I'll put a link to that video because I don't want to just, you know, repeat what she said. But yeah, you know, just, you know, show love. Don't be hateful to someone just because they're being hateful to you. And just, you know, try to stay, you know, as positive as you can. And, you know what you're talking about. Know what you really believe, because if people start throwing negativity at you, you know, people will suck the life out of something before you even know it. And you don't want to, you know, let people do that to you. So, you know, just be strong in your faith. Also, know who you can and cannot talk to this about. That's going to be, you know, a big thing, because some people can't talk. They have to yell, and they have to belittle, and they have to scream, and they have to be right, or else, you know, all hell breaks loose. So know who you can talk to about this, and, you know, use your better judgment. So, yeah, I will speak to you guys later in the week, and hope you're all doing well, and blessed be.